just some old head perspective, if there's any of those guys that they would stack up to it. But it's amazing that, you know, LeBron's greatness stretches to some pretty far back from our perspective, but recent history. You know, like it's amazing. You know, but yes, you do not want to speak as a media person out of term about somebody, because you may one day go and meet that person, which is it's an adage that I just want to quickly talk about this, man. This whole Akademiks off the record, 6ix9ine, Wack100, Hasan, Campbell, super debacle that is now spilled into this sort of narrative that Nipsey Hussle was possibly slightly, I don't know. I don't even want to say it.
Understand how that even got into play. Like, how does four different, completely just four separate men, how does they end up talking about a dead man's sex tape? Like, how does that even jump into the realm of conversation, or even something that we should be disputing over, or even like how the what is going on? Like, what the fuck?
Well, TLDR, Wack100, Hasan Campbell, Akademiks, DJ Akademiks, and 6ix9ine do an interview, podcast, conversation, debate thing. In this, a great conversation is had from an old head perspective versus a sort of new head perspective, which is a funny thing that in and of itself, there's so much reaction to be had from just that conversation. But basically, this conversation was a great conversation that could be picked apart on many different angles. The aftermath of having this conversation, number one, the aftermath of having any conversation with 6ix9ine, the rat to the streets, that is, if I'll call it that. Any conversation with him, any interaction with him gets street people's eyes to flare up, to their ears to perk up. They're paying attention, and they will always basically call to attention that whoever talks to this person is also a rat, is also, by co-signing and having them on their platform, this person is somebody who's not to be trusted inside of our culture, our inner culture, not hip hop, mind you, again, the streets. So because of that sort of chaotic feeling and that agitation that a 6ix9ine interview brings, when you get back out in public not being, again, because this is 2022, not being face-to-face instances, but public being clubhouse meetings or rooms wherein you're there talking to 5, 10, 15, 20 people that is then being listened to by thousands of others.
But how does a clubhouse conversation have to do with this 6ix9ine interview?
Great question. So Wack100 is on Clubhouse, and he's talking shit about Hasan Campbell, the co-host that he had on this 6ix9ine interview. And as niggas do, Wack100 was telling the truth, but he was telling it in sort of he was tall tale. Like he was stretching the truth. He was saying that he was pressing Hasan. He was saying that he called him weird. He was saying that he was gaslighting him, that he was basically, trying to let him know.
Pause. And he was saying this. Wack100 was talking about things he was saying that has been videoed.
Yes.
So we could just watch the interview.
Yes.
So
you can just watch the video.
Then what the fuck are we talking about?
But there's a dispute of how that is, because the other party, Hasan Campbell, who Wack claims he bitched, he's like, no, we were hugging. We were friends. You gave me so many hugs before we left. It was all good. It was you were talking about my clothing brand. We were talking about building, et cetera, et cetera.
And there's a whole video.
That part is not on video, the hugging and talking about the clothing brand. But there is a video of a rapport where they talked for 3 hours. They talked for 3 fucking hours.
What the fuck? And and you watched the video, right?
Yes.
Okay, and can you back up what Wack is saying? Was he saying this man was a weirdo?
See, and yes, he did say he was a weirdo.
Okay.
He did say that Hasan, he did challenge us, because if you don't know, Hasan Campbell was actually molested by Africa Bambaataa. Africa Bambaataa being the Zulu Nation rapper or Zulu warrior. I'm not sure what crew or whatever. I don't know, disrespect. But the point is one of the founding fathers of hip hop. Basically, yeah, molested him, but also took care of his family, Hasan, while he was a kid. Took care of his mom, put food on the table and whatnot. I guess got him opportunities maybe as well. And in explaining that, Wack in the moment did challenge dude, like, wait, what? It sounds like you're trying to tell me, like, it sounds like basically like Stockholm syndrome, like you appreciate the man that did this to you. And Hasan was like, he was trying to explain himself, but Wack, yes, he did call him, he did say that
so he called him out. So he called him out.
He called it out.
He did give him a little pressure,
but he didn't do it with like a like that's some bitch ass shit. Like he wasn't like all up in his shit.
Was that what Wack was claiming?
But Wack, in the retelling of it, not that he was all up in his shit, but he was just using words that were just more extreme, and it was what he did. But it was like, yeah, I pressed him about it. But it's like you didn't really press him. You kind of more so just in conversation said you disagreed. You didn't press him. You more so just.
But that's pressing.
And I'll take it a step further. Wack was like, "Yo, that dude was fucking you in your booty hole, and such, and you didn't give a fuck about it." That's how his shit was on Clubhouse. In person, he was a lot more reserved. He was saying, "No, okay, so what did you do to the man that touched you?" He did not go as far to say, "Fucked you in your eye." No, he did not say that. Did not say that, not even a one time. Did not say that, not a one time. And there's the embellishment. So it's like, and apparently in the molestation of Hasan claims that there was no fucking in the booty hole, but he did get violated. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But moving on, the point is that then Hasan states that, and this is while talking to Akademiks post the interview or post the podcast, that any nigga who would ever come up to him say, yo, you got rapes in your fucking asshole, your booty hole, whatever, apparently according to Hasan, he's dying. He's going to lift and have his soul levitate. His words, not mine. So and apparently he had it on him inside of that podcast interview. Apparently if Hasan had gotten touched, then Wack's soul would have levitated.
Okay, bruh. Why do we have to? What the fuck?
So now, but I'm sorry to cut you off. But so now, Hasan is pissed because Wack is talking this shit, and Hasan had another conversation with Wack that he recorded against the code. That's also snitching. Like that's snitching. Like nigga, what? Like you. But in this conversation, Wack apparently admits to Wack100 and Big U going after major percentages of Nipsey Hussle's estate, and apparently of having some sort of footage, Wack100 that is, of either in another tape or something like that, but in a tape where Wack100 is talking, he's talking about footage of Nipsey Hussle apparently doing some, I don't know, the way the rumor I heard was, and this is a rumor, and I really don't, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna say some gay shit. I'm just say because there's no point. I'm gonna just say is a rumor, but Wack100 has a video apparently of Nipsey Hussle doing some gay shit. It also, let me say, involves a woman. This gay shit involves a woman. It's an act inside of some sort of threesome. Which, a threesome with two dudes, full stop, just right there. For gangsters, that's gay. No, I'm just telling you, like that. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying, yeah. So that's what that is. So, yeah. And now the spillage from, so Hasan had this recording, and only because Wack got on the Clubhouse did he release it. We don't know why he recorded it in the initial. He says because it was for Nipsey fans.
Okay, dude.
It was a 3-way call with Hasan, him, and apparently somebody else. I don't know who the other party was, but
for Nipsey fans, nah, nigga, you just had that just in the tuck, just in case any shit happened. You never know what Wack might. I mean, well, shit. You never know when you need to deploy the nuke real quick. You know what I'm saying? I guess in layman's terms, you know what I'm saying? Because you could just be like, that's what he did it for. This man just was waiting to drop the little task shots at him. Yeah, okay. You want to talk about me and my little situation, my private situation that I talked to you on a podcast with? All right, bet. I'm gonna now drop this little recording I have of you.
And not only did you talk about this private situation, but you said shit that didn't happen. According to Hasan, he did not get fucked in his asshole. That's what you said.
And that too. Now you just doing a tall tale of the situation I told you. Now you just fibbing.
So you see it, but you see how, but it's that's like this gang shit, all this hood bravado is shit is so dumb because it makes every man look bad. Every single man involved in this situation looks bad. Hasan looks bad for recording conversations of other men. You look absolutely crazy for that. Like at the end of the day, there's justification in that. You're catching Wack being a rat, but if Wack has this footage, that means that Nipsey Hussle now looks bad. Wack looks bad for having it, and also Hasan's claim is that Wack was extorting Nip. Wack has a history of extorting people. He apparently extorted Oscar De La Hoya, which is why you have that floating image of him inside of the fishnet. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there's an image of him of Oscar De La Hoya in his boxing gloves, and this motherfucker's in a total fishnet with like a spandex, like a wrestling underwear, and then little tiny girl shoes, with heels.
I've never seen this picture in my life, but what does that have to do with Wack100 exactly?
Wack100 apparently used that footage and the organizing of, and this is alleged, of LGBTQ strippers.
So they be accusing Wack100 of blackmailing
2022 6ix9ine shit. 2022 6ix9ine shit.
Okay.
That's what they're accusing him of.
Hey,
but Wack says no. Wack says no.
I've heard a lot of claims of Wack saying that he doesn't even want to have any association with 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine fucked me over.
Yes.
In the past.
Yes.
So I don't want no association with that man at all.
All very true. And people like Adam 22, Akademiks, Akademiks and Wack100 were on live yesterday also talking about this, or maybe the other day. And they were just going over an entire list of people that Wack fucks with, where he had to literally build a relationship. And this is actually storied. The relationship of how Wack100 got to become cool with Adam 22. You can go back through those podcasts and you can listen to how at first Adam did not call him. He didn't just make that connection. It was Wack is starting to do this podcast thing. He's getting up on Clubhouse. He's talking. He's like, actually getting into this media stuff. Let me reach out. Let's have an interview and let's do it, because he's actually showing that he's getting serious. And so, say all of that to say that I don't know if Wack100 is an extortionist. I don't know if this footage of Nipsey Hussle is real. It could be,
True.
And that
we don't
and
know
that and if it comes out, it further makes all the gangsters look. I don't know, because a lot of the gangsters right now are saying fuck Wack100. At least a lot of the Rolling 60s are saying fuck Wack100. And this is Nipsey Hussle's gang, by the way, but they're saying fuck Wack100 because, well, I mean, nigga, how you gonna just say some shit like that and just, nigga, how you just gonna say some shit like that? And they're not even looking at the leak or the Hasan. None of that. They're just looking at, nigga, why did you say some shit like that?
And it's like a fact that's Wack100 on that phone call.
Apparently, I mean, but Wack100 kind of played dumb a little bit, like, oh nigga, I don't remember how many calls I had with the nigga such and such and such. So,
well, pray for Wack, man.
Pray for Wack100. That's what you can say, because it's like, if that, see, it's a crazy position, because it's a crazy position that Hasan put him in, honestly. But it's a really crazy position that Hasan put him in. That's all I'll say, because it's like,
yeah, couldn't you at least just spoke to Wack about, like, yo, man, don't be disrespected, like, what the fuck?
He took it as disrespect, and then,
I mean, okay, take it as, yes, it's disrespectful what he did, but just the way you react to the disrespect, I think, is just like, I don't know if you want to, because this could potentially put people's lives in danger and shit.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
again, Hasan did say that if any man in front of me says that you got raped in your booty hole, I'm lifting on him. That's it.
right. It does go back to that.
So,
Yeah.
in extension, if you then talk to me that way over there, oh no, I'm going to lift on you, or I'm going to make sure other people do so. I want to see this happen to you now. It's kind of my whole objective now. And so it is at least consistent, but it's terrible. Because it's also hypocritical, because Hasan is the guy to speak in the fucking interview talking about y'all are kings and y'all are an army. Well, it does kind of go in line with that, what he says now, but you're also preaching this whole thing about, hey, make sure everybody goes home. Make sure everybody goes home. Make sure everybody reaches to their family. Like, y'all are an army, but you got to make sure every man reaches home. No man left behind. Like, nigga, you doing all this shit and messing with a dead man's name at that. I don't know. It's a mess, man. But yeah, pray for Wack100 is basically, at the end of the day, the thing to say on that.
Yeah, that's the moral.
Right there,
that's
man.
the moral. I could not speak right there. But that's the moral of the story right there, though. You know what I'm saying? We all get that one, man. I just pray for Wack and hope he's okay. Safe.
Yeah.
Safe travels to him, buddy.
Yeah, I've seen a few angry Instagram videos from across the interwebs.
What the fuck?
So I'm just saying, of dudes and that don't look too friendly. So hey man,
you gotta make it. You gotta make do what you got. You gotta make do what you got, man. I don't know. Fuck, that shit that's a fucked up situation off of just the 6ix9ine interview.
No, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and it goes back to that. Like, it was just off that. Like, what the fuck?
And it has nothing, like, this new Wack100 situation with Nipsey Hussle and all this stuff has nothing to do with that interview. But I'm telling you, there's so many things in that interview that were so interesting that also not as much legs as this, because this is like the breaking news. But it's like, if you were to just look at, if in a vacuum, if you just looked at that interview, it was like a lot of interesting things were said, a lot of different perspectives were given out, and just the whole 6ix9ine conversation, like, what the fuck is even going on right now? And then and 6ix9ine is now out doing Instagram lives with dudes that are basically demons, like, I don't know, or at least are associated with demons.
Hey, who's Buddy Love? Buddy Love is one of the dudes that you were talking about.
Okay, please.
I'm sorry. I don't mean
Buddy Love.
I don't mean to mistake any names, but I saw a Boogie video, and
Love.
I think he was in the video with a Boogie, and it was a whole bunch of just New York niggas, and they were riding the train, and they stopped the train basically to get all these New York legends on the train. Jadakiss, Fat Joe. These are the names that I can recognize, but I think Duke that you were talking about was there too. It was wild. Chains on, niggas just stunting. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. New York is so different from like just different places, because like, I don't know, they just really flaunt their big ass chains. It's like, yeah.
But they're a little
like, cause it's different. It's cool because it's like, yeah, we New York.
Yeah, we New York. But
Like,
it's tough. It's like, a lot of them are tough, but they're also, they all can dance. If you're from New York, you can dance. If you're from New York, you can you can get down for sure. You can gyrate. Like, you just, I don't know what it is. Like, you just, I don't, because you know what I feel like it is? I feel like it's just like, if you're born in like Brazil or Spain or London or Africa, like, like some kind of like metropolitan area, like Freetown, you have your Lagos, Nigeria. Like, bro, when you're born in these culture centers, you just go outside and it's music and passion and love and people's moving and stuff, and that was a good fart. And it's just, you know what I'm saying, like, people just expressing themselves every single day, and that rubs off on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you're a fucking weirdo, man.
You don't smell your own farts?
No, I don't take a deep inhale of my own fart, man. What the hell's wrong with you? That's fucking nasty. No one goes, like, no one does a deep sniff of their own fart. That's fucking gross, dude.
I do
All right.
deep sniffs of my own farts.
Yes, and I want to say that that's disgusting, and no one does that, and that's weird and not and abnormal.
If you're born in Ohio, you're 44-0. And then when you go to other states to perform, they say F Ohio. Thank you, Duke.
Huh?
Well, you know, salute to Duke in the chat. I don't know what the hell he means by that, but
Yeah.
I guess that's supposed to go along with our conversation. The point